guys, welcome back. I have a fun one for you guys today. So before we start, I need to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And just to let you know, the first 1,000 people to hit the link in the description get 2 months for free. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions of people come together to make the next step in their artistic journey. There are thousands of classes that you can choose from in topics such as fine arts, creative writing, graphic design, photography, and more. Lots more. In fact, there are thousands of classes to choose from. Skillshare classes combine a combination of both a video lesson and a class project. These classes are designed to fit your schedule and your skill level. Members get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes with hands-on projects and feedback from the community of millions. Most classes are under 60 minutes with a short lesson that fits any schedule. If you like art series classes like I do, there are hundreds of great artists on this who are also teaching realistic coloring. And if you decide to sign up with Skillshare, it's under $10 a month. There's nothing that beats Copic, and I do recommend that everybody at least save up and get a few of them. These are the lightest gray colors that they make. It's the C1, C3, W1, and W3. And that's the cool gray and the warm gray. And I began these lips using the cool gray 1. It's going to dry very, very light, but it's going to give you a shadowed look so that it'll help you bring this to life. And I want to just get in some of the lines that are on lips into the picture. So this is not going to blend into my colors that I put over it. And you just keep working it until you have your ridges complete. Now I'm leaving the middle open for the highlighted colors. And it's just light pen strokes. It's just light marker strokes, similar to the tapered stroke that I do with the pencil. Just like that. So I'm going to start working on the other picture. Now that you see what I am doing, I'm going to start working on the other picture. I have put in, as you can see, some of them on this one, but I do want to darken them up. Now, do not put your lines in straight. They're curved. On this side, they curve this way. On this side, they curve that way, and then it's straight right in the middle. Now this shading is going to be covered up. And when this marker dries, it gets very, very light. In fact, I'm going to be using the other marker on top of it. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to my C3, which is, this was cool color and this is a warm color. This is also a little bit darker. It's still going to eventually be covered up. I'm not going to go down as far. I'm trying to give this a shape, a rounded shape. So I'm only going to go on the top. Just like this. Now, if you have the Parkour markers or Prisma brand, you look for the lightest grays. The lightest warm and the lightest cool. They're both clearly marked on the markers. And you can see that the lips are starting to take a very rounded, puffy, three-dimensional look. And just remember, this goes slightly this way, this side goes slightly that way, and then down in the middle. That's for whenever you're doing lips. Since I want to give this a glitter type appearance, you're going to need a fine liner and a black one. And with this, you're going to stipple right over your shading. Stippling, fine dots. Now this could take me a while. I'm going to do this part off camera. I just wanted you to see. Now, it will be darker towards the end. Keep less in the middle because we're going to be adding lots of color in there. So you don't want to fill that completely up. See how it's darker and I have more dots down here towards the edges? So leave some room for your colors, and I'll come back when I'm completely done with this, because this can take me a couple of hours to work on. In fact, I'm going to go bring this over to my computer and watch some YouTube videos while I do this. I didn't put in as many dots as there's going to be. I left it open so that I could add some colorful dots. Now, if you have oil pencils like polychromos or Farbens, I know I don't pronounce that correct, use the oil pencils for this. It comes out much better, and that's because they don't blend as much, and you really want this stage not to blend. So you're going to pick out the colors of the rainbow, and I'm going to use my polychromos for this. And I have all my colors here. I'm going to just add in dots using a sharp pencil. Now at this point you could be random because the light's going to pick up all different colors on something that's holographic. It's going to run the full spectrum of light. And I'm going to switch off I'm using both primary colors and pastels. So as you can see, I've made some progress on this, getting the dots in. Now, I do recommend using both the Prismacolor and the Polychromos. Prismacolor will blend more, so you'll get more of a fuzzy look that you would get in a hollow image. And the Polychromos will stay put wherever you put it, so that you still have distinct detail. We want to add the hollow coloring in on this. So as you see on the bottom, it has like a rainbow appearance, and I'm going to mimic that in the top. Very lightly, you're going to do this. You don't want to destroy your details. So I'm going over the top of all the dots that you made. And you're going to use your pencils to form a rainbow. Now, I'm assuming that everybody knows the colors of the rainbow in the order, but I can't assume everything. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. So, just in case. Don't burnish it. Very, very light. I'm using my oil pencils because I want my color to stay where I put it. There's so many layers on this that you can do this with Prismacolor. It will work. It's just a little bit harder. Now with the yellow and the blue, you see what I did on here? I changed the direction. Where they're going this way, I kind of put the yellow on the top and then the blue here. That's kind of the way hollow looks. So I'm going to do the same thing on the top. I'm going to just change the direction. We still have other steps. You can see an iridescence starting to happen in there. Now you can do this on anything. You can make it, I mean, I'm just doing lips, but you can really use it anywhere. On bottles, in water, pictures, anywhere. Sausage lips versus poofy, puffy lips is they have those pillows, and you can see it more in here going around. I will be darkening up the sides to create that, but I'm sort of creating that on the top. On the bottom it has two pillows. On the top it has one that's right here. So the darker the colors are going to go around that highlight. Forming like a subtle ball right there, and right there. Don't give up. Now you see why I put in those grays at the beginning, because you can actually see them through all of this, and it becomes just part of the shading. The more I'm working on it, the more hollow it's looking. It's actually looking more iridescent, but there's not a huge difference. It has to do with the particles, how they react to the light. So it's not all that important. It's the look that's important. Now notice I'm keeping this area open. I'm not putting too much color there because I have a specific color in mind that I want to add there. And what I like about the oils is you look up really close, you could see the other colors peeping through. Now you don't want to be too even with it, because hollow isn't even. It changes direction, and it just doesn't do the same thing on one side as the other. So this is a good one for beginners. Even though it looks a little bit hard. I could see all those reds and yellows and neon colors in between. Now I'm going to get out my neon yellow, and this is, yes, this is. That's the color I wanted in there, because it's really bright. And this came from Prismacolor, and it won't take away my highlight, but it'll fill it in really nicely. With a little bit of a glow. I'm going to add in some of my neon pink. On top of the red. Okay, now for the teeth. You want to use a light gray on teeth. And I'm going to use a 10% cool. to shape them. Because then when you add white, they look really white. I'm going to add some white ink just with a stylus and use that as a highlight. I had a little extra ink in this one dot. A little bit too much came off my stylus, that's why I'm using it. It'll wipe off and then color over, so don't get too worried about it. This is a very, very tiny stylus. I couldn't find my bigger one, which is good because the tinier the dots, the more sparkle you'll have. And I'm just putting in a little sparkle glare. Now I'm going to just let that dry for a few minutes and I'll take it to the last step. Okay, to get that popping off the page, I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow underneath. I'm using my C1. That's going to dry very light. See how the lips are like starting to come off the page? This is bringing the light into the side, so it's kind of coming down that way. Okay, now I'm going to use my C3 right up against the lip. Not down here where you put the shadow, just right at the lip line. Okay, now I've got a little larger brush and I'm going to give her a shine. I like that. So I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to give those a second coat because it's white and can be a little bit translucent. Then I'm going to spray it. Once I spray it, all the colors will start to pop. I'm liking it so far. Okay, so it's almost completely dry. It's at least dry to the touch. Ready to see the shine? And I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.